Can we just talk about the fact that Ultra Instinct is canon?
We wish this into existence, and now we
officially
have to live in this
acknowledged
world.
Ultra Instinct Shaggy today. Not even unironically. There was just like,
We made this bet, and now we have to lie in it.
yeah, they wrote the words Ultra Instinct Shaggy on Twitter. So all bets are off. That game's great. I expect to have a Scorpion and like Harley Quinn combo.
The fact that Multiversus is going hard into the crossovers, even if we kind of view that as a cash-in, there's a reason it's a cash-in that's going to be huge. The number of people that are going to pick this up because they can play as Batman, or they can play as Jake and Finn from Adventure Time, or they can play as Steven Universe.
I'm just gonna off the bat say I'm not the biggest fan of the Ludosity visual style, so like compared to that, I like it.
Oh, right. You're saying compared to Nick. Okay.
Compared to NASP and Slap, I like this more. It still feels very, I don't know how to say it except cartoony. But like, I don't have the right word. Yeah, rubbery is a good word for it, I think.
I think it feels very free-to-play mobile.
Yeah.
But not as much as Brawlhalla does. So when I talked about why Brawlhalla is so successful, because Brawlhalla is on Steam charts, they have 18,000 active players right now. It is the biggest fighting game by far, and it is because it is free to play. You can play it on like literally every console, from a high-end PC down to a phone.
I think it's 300 megabytes.
Yeah.
I think it's under a gig.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah. It is extremely compressed if you need it to be. They have microtransactions for skins. Even all of the guest characters that they brought in, they are not unique characters. They are special skins on top of other characters. So you don't need to buy them to be competitive with it. But obviously you want to be able to be John Cena and beat up Adventure Time Dog. I know it's Jake. But I called him Adventure Time Dog. The crossover is huge. I know people that specifically picked up Brawlhalla because Rayman was added, or because the WWE superstars were added, or like whatever. There's people who have tried that game purely based on the power of some of the IPs that are in it. Okay, let me just finish this run of reasons. Free to play and available on multiple platforms. It is not going to be as available as Brawlhalla. It's not on a 4-decade-old phone, and it's not on Switch. But it is on both of the last generations of PlayStation and Xbox and PC. I imagine that it'll be ported to things like the Switch later. Player base, or massive potential player base, free to play. Crossplay does have good online. It has rollback, so people are going to feel fine about it. The IPs, you cannot, as jaded as some of us might be about crossovers and IPs and everything, they will pull so many people in. The fact that you saw everyone on Twitter today talking about which character they were going to main, sight unseen, never knowing what they're going to play like, because they loved watching Tom and Jerry growing up, or they loved watching Scooby-Doo or whatever, or they really like memes. All of these different things. They've talked about Harry Potter. They've talked about so many different IPs that they could throw in. Because that's the thing. This is Warner Brothers. Literally anyone who's been in a Warner Brothers movie could potentially show up in this game someday.
Betty Boop, played by Lily Reinhart from Riverdale, Serena from Gossip Girl, Meatwad and Master Shake, Ellen DeGeneres. All of those are on the table right now. Literally
anybody that was in the second Space Jam that everyone ripped apart that I didn't see. You think it will be mediocre but successful? Yeah, I'm not speaking to like how I think the game will play. I think that is just a time will tell thing. I do know I spoke to someone who beta tested it. They beta tested it like 3 months ago at this point, and they
alpha tested.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But
okay.
They did secret testing for it, and they said that it felt, in their words, much better than Nick All-Star.
I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna be some sort of like transcendent platform fighting experience.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna be like, oh my god, this game is amazing, I never want to touch Melee or PM again, or Rivals or any. Yeah, it's not gonna be that.
But like, I know Tony. I know people on that team.
Well, and that's what I wanted to get to next. Is let's talk about the team.
Them.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull up their team.
But yeah, let's look at their actual staff. So Tony, I do not know how to pronounce this last name. Hun? Okay. Tony Hun. This is a name I remember from when we were looking at it before. Is their CEO and co-founder, but was the combat and systems engineer on God of War 3, God of War Ascension, League, is a bunch of different titles.
So
also led a team at Riot. Like this is
Yeah,
being
so I know
baked in
Tony.
with esports from the beginning.
Like I know Tony through Riot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the most brilliant people I've met in game dev. We've had Daniel come to Stanford before for a game dev talk through Riot. He's also, I mean, obviously when you have someone on a panel, it's a little bit more casual. You get a different side of someone, but like Daniel was a great speaker. And I think he's also someone that I trust to be pretty genuine, I suppose, about what he's trying to do and why he's trying to do it.
Cool. So he's going to be great at that kind of things. Chris White doesn't ring any bells.
I've heard of John Diesta.
Just his character design and art stuff, and it makes sense that a lot of his previous work was Disney things because of the current art style. Yeah, the Artek is the previous cinematic lead on God of War Ascension. Also ran his own indie studio. Stefan is the sound designer, but has worked for Respawn, Blizzard, and Amazon Game Studios, and Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, we mentioned Daniel Kraft has been like the lead generalist on League, Teamfight Tactics, and whatever Hawken is. Katie Hancock, production lead. Years of experience with art. Okay, so she's more focused on art and game design. Liz is, human resources, operations. Just a very good person to have. And Craig, where he did design and worked on COD. No, this isn't their whole team. These are all like the leads of different departments. But a lot of the other people that were on their team when we looked before, like have extensive experience, not just in gaming, but also in specifically like this person worked on WoW, or like people that either worked on MOBAs or MMOs or other. I mean, there's somebody who worked on Mortal Kombat, like things like that, which is why a lot of people thought this was NRS. I'm actually going to
still sad it's not NRS.
I think NRS games feel very stiff. I'm glad kind of that it's not NRS actually. But based on the team that's behind this, like they are putting in this is their first game, and they are putting in like the team that is making this has experience in like 8 different MOBAs and MMOs and competitive shooters, and like there's so much esports experience behind this team. Or I guess
there is a little bit of esports stuff. There's like all these people have worked on esports games.
That's what I meant.
I'm super optimistic about the game. I'm gonna
same.
I have an immense amount of faith in this team. I have some more private information that I'd rather not get too deep into, but like sure. I know how deeply they are consulting.
Mm-hmm. I do know a little bit of that. Probably not nearly what you do. Based on the person that I knew who did beta testing for this, they are looking deep into platform fighting, then not just at all.
I will say the only thing I'm concerned about, and I think this is a valid concern with all platform fighters as they come out, is it's okay to emulate and to kind of like model after Smash.
Mm.
It is frustrating when that's your entire shtick and you haven't kind of made it your own.
When it is just, you made Smash about this.
Rivals, Brawlhalla, Slap, Nasp are all great because there's like a very specific set of feels and mechanics within the game that are not in Melee. The inspiration is clearly those games, but like they do their own thing with it.
And so I can say, I know that some of the people that have been doing beta testing for this game are part of those communities.
Yes.
Not just like they've talked to top players from those games, not just top players from Melee or top players from all.
Yeah. So this game right now, it is being tested across at least 5 communities.
Yeah.
5 communities that I think represent a really good split of platform fighters in such a way that like I think that it'll lead to a good set of balancing. I think it'll have enough from all of those different games to at the very least have a casual appeal to massive parts of those communities. Mm-hmm. I fully believe that they're going to be able to put out a product that is at the very least a fun thing to do while you're at a Smash event or a Rivals event or a Brawlhalla event.
That doesn't mean it will be my main game, and that might not make it your main game, but for some people, it will be. And there's saying
Like-
if it hits its target, then it's successful.
Unlike the Nintendo thing, I'm not cautiously optimistic. I'm just really optimistic.
Mhm.
Like when it comes to esports stuff, it's WB, so they have NRS in pocket. NRS is really fucking good at what they do. Albeit NRS primarily only does their invitationals in terms of like large scale events.
But NRS
Those
also
invitationals
works
are
those invitationals are sick, but also they work very well with things like Combo Breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. The IP, it's like everything about it. I think this could be the game that rivals Brawlhalla for numbers. The fact that they're adding in original characters, I think actually very interesting. Can you imagine if Smash had, like, if Ult was just like, here's a new character, we made them up. They're not just saying like, I don't know, they're all fighting each other. There's a genuine story and canon to this game of why they were all sucked into the multiverse, and that's very funny to me. But yeah,
Just imagine.
I mean, they have the two biggest recent Cartoon Network shows. They have one of the biggest. They have
baby.
two of the oldest cartoon characters with Shaggy and Bugs.
They have two of the oldest continuing characters with Superman and Batman.
Oh, and I forgot about Tom and Jerry. Yeah, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They have one of the biggest cultural. Yeah, and Tom and Jerry. They have one of the biggest cultural phenomenons in the last decade with Game of Thrones, despite what people said about the finale.
I mean, my like very high level set of takes on it are: I trust the company, I trust the people that are involved.
Yeah.
I trust the people that they are consulting in various platform fighting communities to give them good feedback and to help them kind of build out a platform fighter that has an engine that feels good for a large set of players from different games, but also is very much uniquely its own. I
agree with all of this so far.
I trust it to be a huge game simply because of the massive number of things that WP has access to off the bat.
This is not any shade to Nick All-Stars, because I really hope that Nick All-Stars is able to find its own community, and I think it is right now. I hope that they will have a community like the current Rivals community or like the current Slap community. But I think that this game is going to be much bigger. Yeah, it's way more polished.
It's enormous.
Yeah. I think this game could be very big and should be very big. And like, if I enjoy it, you know I'm going to be trying to do commentary for it.
I think that's the other thing that I do think has a lot of potential with this, is that the esports potential is massive. The existing partnerships are such that like anything is possible.
I mean, because you put a character in, you put Gandalf in, and then the official Lord of the Rings Twitter account gets to retweet it. You put like the ways that he can market this is just absurd.
They could do a national circuit at Six Flags across the country.
Yeah, they 100% could. We were talking about how Nick All-Stars needed to do a tournament at the Mall of America that has Nickelodeon Universe. But yeah, Six Flags, even better.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Cool.
You can follow me on Twitter, but I'm not going to plug it. Good luck, Godspeed on that one.
Yeah, find it.
You can follow me on Instagram. I'm also not going to plug it. You can, good luck, Godspeed. One of those is easier to find than the other, but they're both relatively easy to find if you try hard enough.
But don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm going to, like I said before, I'm going to be doing not way more. I'm just going to try to stream consistently a couple times a week. That'll also mean more videos going out. Some talks that are like this, and some that are more of like fun gaming challenges or having people on to do different game modes. I think we're done. I think we're just chilling, and I will see everybody later. The funniest part of the trailers when they hype up Kevin Conroy Batman voice right before putting the worst take of all time. It's true. And he's a good Batman, but they do just be like, and he's playing Batman, and then it's Batman just doing the most generic, like gravelly voice.
I mean, he is the best Batman.
Right, but that one take was bad.